Spawn, really.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pod of War Gamescast. I'm your host, Stu with Gizmo, joined this week, as I will always be, by Massive Daz, Chris Pengelly.
Hello, everyone.
And, of course, Xbox Live's CW Lankay.
Hello.
So, boys, it's time. It's the big episode. It's the Not E3 Predictions episode, which is what I'm going to call the title of this video. So, we'll see how that works. So, this is the big one. This is the one we do every year. We do some predictions each. It's a bit different this year because there isn't actually an E3, so it's a bit chaotic, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out, boys. But before we get to that, let's start with the rigmarole, which is what we've been buying, what we've been playing. We're going to start in an unusual fashion with me, because this is going to be very quick. I've not played one single minute of video games this week. So, there we go.
Not even on mobile, a device which you can take everywhere.
No, not even Diablo Immortal.
Oh, yeah. No, you haven't got a mobile.
No, mobile.
Okay. That was the joke as Diablo Immortal came out this week.
My everyone active gym membership instead. That's what I've been doing with my life. But so we'll move on swiftly from me, and we'll move on to, I think, the big dog. I think it's time. Pengy, what have you bought? What have you been playing? What shenanigans are you up to this week?
Bought nothing. And literally I've played more Switch Sports. And I've basically today some more Opus Echo of the Star Song, which I've now finished, which has got the 10 or more hours over thing on the Switch. So it's between 10 and 15 hours, I guess, whatever I played with that. So I finished that. It was good, but not like a 90 plus, like it reviewed on PC, like I think back in like October or something. It was good. I think it was like 20 quid. Not sure worth that. Maybe wait for a sale if it came to Xbox, like Game Pass or something like that. Feels a bit like a Game Pass game. Like I could see Craig now trying it if it was on Game Pass. I could see you, Dave, never trying it because
yeah,
very much like a sort of old school point and click adventure. You can't really like fail or anything. You just do your dialogue options, your character, do some puzzles, etc. and stuff like that. And then while watching the football, I played some Fire Emblem Revelations on the 3DS, and I've now got to chapter 19. So, yeah, that's it.
Big congratulations to my home nation, Wales, for qualifying for the World Cup. Big congratulations to that. But that's not bad, Pinky. So, have you got all your skins that you wanted for Switch Sports? I know that was a thing you were focusing on.
Yeah, I haven't like the newest one, but you got like 10 days still to do it. It's like the weird tennis one stuff. Nothing in the tennis one I'm that keen about, but I've done every set so far though. And then the one dropped off and the new one came in which is like the dance stuff or something, so you can make your character look, like they're from Flash Dance or something. I don't know.
Okay then, lovely. That was Chris's Switch Sports review. Craigo, you maverick son of a gun, what have you bought? What have you been playing?
So on the Xbox side of things, I finished off Bugsnax yesterday. I did the DLC, which is actually...
Did have the DLC.
You were right, yeah. It is just kind of included in the game when you download it. And the achievements are just included. You just get one achievement, which is like 70G for finishing the DLC.
Okay.
So it's not separate. That's what confused me. The DLC is quite lengthy, actually. It's probably a good 2.5, 3 hours. I thought it'd just be an hour long because it's obviously just a free DLC that they chucked out, wasn't it? So it kind of extends the runtime of the game quite a bit. I think it's about 15 hours or so. So yeah, I finished that. I ended up with a fair bit of gamer score, like nearly 700, I want to say.
Gonna go for the 1000G?
No, because you've got to catch every single Bugsnax at least once and all that.
Yeah, collect them all.
Yeah, which I don't know how many I got. I think I got the achievement for getting 50, so I'm at least halfway there. But I'm not gonna kind of grind on for that. And then on Game Pass, today I started up Sniper Elite 5.
Hell yeah!
Which I only actually played for an hour because I was kind of enjoying it at first, and then I just kind of the reality of me and stealth games just hit me. And every every encounter I realized was just turning into me just running around with a submachine gun, shooting people, and just kind of really playing the game how it's obviously not designed to be played, and it kind of you can tell that it's not really what you're meant to be doing. 'Cause, yeah, I feel like they just kind of like spawn enemies in and out of nowhere and stuff like that, and I was like, I kind of I can bounce off this and kind of leave it here. I think. Luckily, I didn't unlock a single achievement though, boys. So that got hidden off the gamer card straight away, which we like. We like that sort of shit.
Yeah, because many of time I've done that. Or I try a Game Pass game, play it for a couple of hours, and be like, oh, I've got 2 achievements on this game, and this game is not good.
Yeah, so I managed to avoid that terrible fate. So and it's also, I will say, it's a big install for anyone that wants to try it. Just to warn anyone, it's like 80 gigs, which I really was not expecting from Sniper Elite 5. So I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, if you did want to play that on Game Pass, just be prepared for that massive download that you have to go through. So I kind of bounced off that, and then one of the other games I had in my Game Passy backlog that I've got at the moment was Life is Strange: True Colors, which I know Dave would be a big fan of.
Mm.
So I played probably a couple of hours of that today. And I've also, so far, it's probably the best of these sort of games that I've played. It looks really, really pretty. There's actually, for some reason, there's 2 different modes. There's a performance mode and a frame rate mode. I've just had it on performance because you don't really need like 60 frames per second on a game like this. It's kind of redundant, really. But yeah, it's really pretty. It's really well voice acted. It's got quite a cool setting. It's set in this like small mining town in Colorado, I think, which is it's very hippyified, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it just seems it seems to be more focused on the actual story and the characters and less on the kind of agenda that these kind of games can kind of sometimes be more focused on. Let's just say, which is quite refreshing. It's quite good so far. So that's it on the Xbox. On the Switch, finished off Pokemon. Did the 5 plates, is it, or badges, whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
And then the 3 lakes, and then the 2 big daddy ones that you got to fight. So kicked all their asses, My team of assassins just murdered the shit out of them. And I was like, what do I play next? Because, Strikers is the 10th, which is 5 days away?
Yeah.
And we have double discount in work at the moment as well. And I was like, oh, do I get something, pick something up in work? I ended up picking up randomly. It's going to show it very well. Mario Golf.
Nice.
Yeah. Because one of... So, in a bit of a tangent, in work, our game prices are bloody awful. And the amount of games I was looking at, and I was like, well, I can literally buy it online for the same price after double discount, which is just, shocking. Whereas that was like £30, which seems to be £30 mostly everywhere. So by the time I was double discount, it's 24. So that's not too bad, actually. I only played a little bit of it last night. Just did the tutorials and that, and the first one, so I'll have a go around the course for the first time. The golf actually plays really well. I used to be a massive Tiger Woods fan on the Xbox 360. So I do love my golf games, and this feels really good. Feels really satisfying to play. A little bit simple down, but not too much, to be fair. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to playing that. And it's not, obviously, I know it's not super long, not a huge amount of content, so I thought it was kind of perfect just to fill that gap for Strikers comes on the 10th. So yeah, lots of Switch sporty sort of games, Mario sports sort of games at the moment for me.
Nice. Could have gone for tennis.
Yeah, I don't think we sell tennis in work. I think
you'd be like, I've been watching the French Open and it's on double discount. Let's get Mario Tennis.
We've got that Olympic game they did, Mario Sonic Olympic, but I don't know if that's any good. I can't imagine.
I think the Rugby Sevens boat in that is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, just.
Ooh.
There
You're
we go.
a little bit
there
quiet.
We go.
There you go.
Bloody cables. But yeah, okay then. Well, that's a good week from Craig, the Mr. Games now. Not like me.
Yeah, picking up the old. I think that's Switch game number 5. I wouldn't say. So the collection grows. Striker's be number 6.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Well, I suppose we'll move on to Pengy. Tell us about State of Play.
State of Play, yeah. So State of Play happened, and we got quite a bit from it. It kicked off with Resident Evil 4 Remake, which I know Craig will be very excited about.
It's a really good way to start off the show, isn't it? They do these like State of Plays. Like I said, they're normally pants. Like the ones that I've watched in the past. I remember watching I was going to say Little Big Planet, but it's not. That's Little Devils Inside, and they did a State of Play. That was awful. I think the last one they did, was it like a Square Enixy one? It felt like a very Square Enixy one.
Yeah, it had something like 5 Square Enix games.
Yeah. So I was expecting that, and then when you
presents,
when you start your like presentation with RE4 and of the date, that's kind of like that's a statement, isn't it, that this is going to be much better. It looked really good, so yeah, I'll definitely be all over that. In was it March next year?
Yeah, March. I think it's March 23rd.
Yeah, so the beginning of next year is already like stacking up, isn't it?
Yeah, because I've seen like some like posts on that, like what next year like already looks like. Because obviously Starfield and Redfall delayed into next year, so you got those two. You got this Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 next year. So Pragmata from Capcom as well. So nothing for you. I guess it does nothing for you, Dave, being a Resident Evil. But I know you've played 4.
I like 4, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not into what it will inevitably because of the graphic update and the RE engine will be a scarier experience than it was before. To be honest, but it was kind of campy before, so yeah, nothing for me on that one. And then I know we follow up with 4 VR games. Yeah, again, 2 more zombie games.
I love the fact that they just kind of chucked the VR games in together. Like it was like they knew that this is a kind of a small niche audience, and it's like, here you go.
It's too early for the big blowout for VR2 anyway, because they don't know when it's coming out. So there's no point doing too much of a focus. It's cool that 7's getting DLC, or 8, sorry, whatever. So the Village is getting DLC. It's cool that there's a Walking Dead Chapter 2, No Man's Sky getting more content. Resident Evil 4 is getting content, and what was the last one, Pengu?
Horizon.
Call
of the Mountain.
Which again looks cool. I still need to play Forbidden West. That's the most. If we do a list of most likely games that could break me at any point, it's still pretty high. I mean, I'm not really gaming, so there's no point, but it's cool. But I try not to look too much anyway, because I just, I haven't played the second one yet, so we won't be too much of that. Other than that, there was the Roller Drome was announced.
Yeah, so after the VR stuff, we got Stray, which is coming in July, and it's launching straight into the new Plus service. So that looks pretty good. It's 20. I've seen, obviously you can pre-order it on Steam. It's $24.99 if you pre-order it now on Steam. Normally $29.99. So that being in the new 2 levels of Plus, it's a pretty decent sort of get in like for that month. I mostly sub for a month, pay the £12 or whatever it is for a month, play Stray, and then like see whatever else is on there for that month, and then like cancel, and then all that good stuff. I guess obviously just PlayStation at the moment. So, but if it came to Xbox or something, Craig, would you be keen on it?
Yeah, probably. I'd imagine so. Obviously, we'll wait because these Annapurna games sometimes they maybe look a little bit better than they are on that, but we'll see. I'd imagine probably.
Then I know that Annapurna is a weird. Some are still exclusive. Some are like only a month on the. You never know with Annapurna what's gonna happen with that. Then we got that Rododrome game, which I think everyone, like we mentioned it in our chat, seemed kind of funny. I've seen other people mention it on there. All thought it was a Sable port, but it's actually this new game Rododrome, which weirdly comes out it didn't come out, but traded like a week after Roller Champions come out. So it's like, rollerblading is the in thing. Zombies and rollerblading. So someone needs to add those.
Just need someone to combine the two, and they'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, because on horror we also got Callisto Protocol, which was dated for December, and this game is from the people that made Dead Space. But obviously, we're getting a Dead Space remake in January, so it kind of made sense. This is coming out before Dead Space, otherwise, you know, not. There's, I guess something to play in December. December's normally a weird month as well for game releases. Sometimes you get some decent stuff, sometimes you don't. Obviously, it's horror again, so not for you, Dave.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah,
This is an awesome trailer though. To be fair to one,
yeah. It looked very Dead
because
Spacey.
I've heard of this game, and I knew at one stage this was going to be set in like the PUBG universe, and then they like basically said that because like everyone was like, "What PUBG universe? There isn't a universe." So I think they've said that it's not now, which makes sense. But I think for a lot of people, this has been like the first they really saw or learned about this game. I thought this was like an amazing trailer that they did. The game looked like phenomenally good. And to come out with a release date that's this year, it's pretty badass as well. So yeah, I thought this was really really good. And he said at the end of the year, there's going to be like, I think Greg Miller's been saying like it's just like spooky season now because like at the end of the year you've got that, and then you've got like Dead Space, and then RE4 in March. Like there's a few months where we're just going to get a lot of horror games back to back for a while, which will keep
Cool.
Dave happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then you had, if you don't want horror and you want anime instead, we have Eater Nights, which is a very weird title. I see the guy, someone retweeted it. I don't know who I followed that retweeted it. The guy basically played Persona 5, then he loved that, so he decided to play Persona 3 and Persona 4. He loved them, and he's decided to make his own game. So we have Eater Nights, which is I guess a sort of fan made, but obviously a proper like studios coming to like PS4, PS5. I don't know if it's coming to Xbox or Switch. It looked like it mostly run on a Switch, and that's Eater Nights. So possibly keen on this because obviously do like Persona, do like Japanese games and stuff like that. Craig would love it when it's on Game Pass, and it'd be his favorite game that year.
I think this was it for next year as well? Didn't they announce that?
Yeah, I think it's sometimes next year, so I'm not sure when that one's coming. What about you, Dave? Because obviously you do like Persona.
It looks fun, but if it came to Game Pass, I'd be tempted. But I don't. I'm not. When it comes to those type of games, I like turn-based more than I like actiony.
Yeah.
So it's not really. I don't really think it's my jam right now. I think Craig would probably like it. Might be a bit anime for him, but who knows? But yeah, looks okay.
Sure.
Looks fun.
Cool. And then after that, we had Street Fighter 6, which had a weird trailer. But yeah,
Yeah,
Street Fighter 6, quite a big game to have.
Yeah, it had a weird trailer where it was half teasing that it was a Final Fight game, and I was like, ooh, and then it's not. So I was like, okay, but yeah, it's coming to Xbox as well. If I play it, I'll likely play it on that. But yeah, for me, it looks better than 5. Which is not really a statement. But...
Yeah, I know none of us are massive like fighting game sort of people anymore, but Capcom's just seem to be nailing everything they do at the moment. So I'd imagine this will be
it'll
very solid for that audience.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing the bit where it's showing you in Metro City is like a story mode for this game, and you actually go around fighting in the streets.
Potentially.
And that, and like I don't know, you meet up the characters. Then we got Tunic is coming to PlayStation in September. Looks I've seen a few people when in a Discord like, oh, it's coming to PlayStation. What about Switch? Because it does look like a Switch game. Like I can imagine playing that on like the handheld or like on the Steam Deck, but no word from the dev on the Switch version on that. So sort of thing. But yeah, it's coming to PlayStation. If give more people to play the game. Then we got Seasons, which is a weird indie game from the studio that did Darwin Project. So they've gone from a battle royale to like this game. Which you go around doing cycling because we know we love cycling games.
Oh yeah, this is the bike game, isn't it?
Yeah, you go around cycling. You're taking pictures and stuff to basically put in a file for when the world ends. Like whoever's left basically has got a file of history and stuff like that. From what I get is the plot of it, and it comes out August, so it's not that far away. This is the sort of game I feel should be in the new Plus, like Stray, if they're gonna start adding like day and date indie titles and stuff like that, like Game Pass. This is something that I feel that really should be in that new Surface sort of thing.
It had a really cool art style as well. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a weird one. And then we finished up with Final Fantasy 16. So, which we got gameplay trailer and stuff. We've seen like all the summons. It seems like it's focused on the summons. We got a big blog post about the game. Apparently, the game is completely playable from start and finish now. It's just like, making it look better, make sure the bugs and stuff like that. And it's coming summer next year. So, whoever next year can get this in Fantasy Critic again, hopefully get some good points there. Yeah, so that was the state of play.
We also obviously had Spider-Man for PC, just to upset
Yeah.
some ponies. But yeah, I mean overall.
Yeah, I've seen hubbub from both set of fans of that one. So
yeah, people are just
Yeah.
idiots, aren't they? I mean, yeah. If you like horror, that would seem like a pretty good state of play. If you don't like horror, then it looked pretty average.
yeah, to me, like there's not ever like I put elsewhere. There's only a couple of games that I'm most probably like Stray, Final Fantasy 16, and stuff like that. But I look at it like for someone like Craig, Resident Evil 4 remake, and you end with Final Fantasy 16. You open with a big game, you close with a big game with something decent in the middle, and Street Fighter 6. These are pretty big franchises. I think the only thing, obviously, a lot of the internet saying this is the best state of play ever. And you mentioned, obviously, Craig, about a previous state of plays have not been particularly good. I think this also sets up the problem of any other state of plays coming. So it's like, oh yeah, the next state of play is going to focus on third-party games, and we just get Roller Dome and Seasons and I don't know, a new voice of card games. And I'm like, well, the last one had Resident Evil in it. I can see everyone kicking up a bit of a fuss like they do on the internet if the next state of play is not good like this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than they normally do. Which I think, given the time of year, it had to be. Like, if it had been a normal sort of state of play around not E3 season, then it really would have been kind of frowned upon. So yeah, it's good they done it. It's weird because obviously it was like one of the best state of plays that like I've seen, but it was kind of like I was watching it and like, oh, this is pretty much everything they showed that I was interested in. I can just play on the Xbox. So it's like it was odd. Like, it was a great state of play, but I didn't feel like it was selling me a PlayStation. It was just kind of selling me games that I could play that I could anyway.
Yeah, weirdly, I think we put in the chat, and I was talking to a guy at work. It's like I've got a pre-order in for Steam Deck. I can't get one till October, but like all this is obviously coming to like PC and stuff. And like I mentioned Tunic and stuff like that. Like how that would be like potentially great on the Switch playing that portable. Like on the Steam Deck, that'd be like a great game, and obviously Spider-Man with the PC version and stuff like that. I doubt a Steam Deck's going to run Final Fantasy 16 particularly well. And like it runs Elden Ring apparently fine and stuff like that. But it's like it actually looks quite good with PC, and obviously with all the shows coming up, where there's like 10 different shows, there's going to be a lot of obviously like weird indie PC games and stuff like that, sort of thing.
Well, speaking of which, Pengles, to segue nicely away from State of Play, we're doing our E3 predictions now. Well, say E3, not E3 predictions, as it's going to be the later task. So
yeah, even though I'll say there's nearly as many shows as any other year,
but it's not
Ubisoft.
It's not in the shows that me and Craig want, which is really the problem. But we're not here for that. So let's get on with the predictions. We've set 8 each. Same rules as always. Points, half points. We determine at the time of award. So let's get this started, shall we? Craig, you got one ready for number 1?
Oh, I'll go first if you want.
Yeah, let's have Craig go first. I know I won last year, but I'm a gracious leader.
Craig, I guess Craig had 1 point last year, so I guess we doing it that way round.
Yeah, we'll do worst first.
I remember that I lost. I think was that bad?
Yeah, it was awful. Right, Craig, let's get this going.
Right, I'll start off. I'm going to take this away from Chris straight away.
Yeah.
We saw Jeff Keighley. He tweeted out the developers, the studios that are at his show.
Yeah.
There was one developer in particular from Europe that we saw there, and that was Blooper Team.
Yeah.
What else could they possibly be showing? It has to be time. Chris, get your hopes up, boy. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
It's being shown.
Not
They're announcing it.
Is
Yes.
shown from blooper? Is that what we're
Yes,
going for?
yeah, I will give you blooper as well. I
Yeah.
don't see what else they could be showing. I really don't. I
Um.
thought maybe the medium on PlayStation 5, but it's already come out. I didn't realize it's
Yeah.
already on there.
Yeah. It came out
Um,
after like 3 months, so it's
so
pretty
yeah,
close. Yeah.
Chris, get hyped.
I will get hyped for that. Certainly, indeed. It'd be weird if it's like blooper come out like here's our new game and it's the medium 2, Layers of Fear 3 or
It's the
something.
large,
Yeah, it
And
will be
like,
strange.
the
I'll
venti.
be like,
I
and I'll be
do
like,
look forward because obviously, like the Looper's games, I really like the medium and Blair, which was kind of meh, okay.
yeah.
But now they're making Silent Hill, I'm sure everyone's suddenly massive Looper stands. Like,
Oh
yeah,
no,
everyone,
everyone. No, it's like the opposite. It's like, oh, why is Blooper having this franchise? Their games are crap, and it's like Medium's pretty decent.
yeah, medium's good.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I reckon if
that's number
I
one.
still think if Medium had Silent Hill on its name, it like people would love that game. But
Yeah.
There we go. So Pengy, your first one,
hmm
son.
My first one. Okay, I'm gonna take it off the table. Forza Sport is shown and it is announced for this year.
See, I don't think it's going to come this year.
Mm.
I think it will get shown.
It's interesting. I think it's like 50-50. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's going to come this year. For reasons I'll talk about in one of my picks later.
Yep.
Nice, okay, nice and easy. Well, this is like I said to Craig before we started on. This is going to be a mostly Xbox list of predictions because that's the only big show that we really know what they're going to have. So I'm going to go take the low hanging fruit, and I said there's going to be a Gears of War collection coming this year.
Yeah, there's one guy. It's a guy from the Xbox Era podcast. I think it's like Special Nick or something like that. He's like kind of like a Discord and leaks a lot of stuff. He seems to be the one person who's saying that this is going to happen. So if this doesn't happen, that poor guy is going to get absolutely destroyed on Twitter and all
Yeah,
that.
it makes sense. It seems like an easy pull to put some games on there.
Definitely.
So Gears of War collection from me. Craig, go number 2.
Number 2 from me. I'll go for the Keighley show again. God of War. PlayStation, they're going to show it, and it'll be announced for this year.
That was on my list as well.
It was on my list as well because I think that's a given.
Yeah, Craig is going for this year. See this. Yeah. There we go. Then it's back to me, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm going to go for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge will be at the Xbox show, and it will be dated for June 16th. So it is launching on the Thursday, and why the Thursday is because like literally that's when PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox will all be updated. So it will launch on all of them. But the reason why it's going to be on the Xbox show is because it'll be launching straight into Game Pass.
That's
so it launched
very specific.
Yeah, so it'll launch that this week or the week of things. So show on Xbox, and this is the title's coming to Game Pass. It's coming to Game Pass, but obviously it'll be on PlayStation and Nintendo and PC, etc. as well, and come out that Thursday.
So that's a big call from Penguin, isn't it? I like that.
Well, I'm not going to do any big calls this whole time because I want to win. So Forza Horizon 5 expansion shown comes out this year. That's why we're not going to get Forza Motorsport, in my opinion. They'll save it for next year.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. I think you'll definitely get some DLC this year. It's just, do they do that like sooner and then do Motorsport like later at the end of the year? That might be the only thing. But yeah, I think that's. I'd be surprised if we don't get anything from like Forza Horizon at the show.
Bad to you.
For me, I'll go for the Keeleys again.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it on the list of like the studios and that were going to be there. We saw that Xbox were going to be there, as well as obviously doing their own show. I'm thinking, what do they always show at the game of the year, and that what does Keighley seem to have? And that's they tend to show Hellblade at the Game of the Year awards. Keighley seems to like that game a lot. I reckon Hellblade is shown there, not at the Xbox show, at the Keighley's, and I reckon there's some sort of 2023 date attached to it somewhere.
That's what I had down. I had Hellblade 2 is dated for 2023.
Yeah, and I'll add the caveat that it's on the Keighley, not at the Xbox show.
Yes. There you go. All right,
Pengy.
then it's back to me. Right, I'm going for. I think it's going to be at the Keighley's more than anything, but it could be at the Xbox. It's only going to be at one of those two, I think. BioShock 4 is shown and is like officially announced.
Interesting. Who do you reckon's making it?
It's 2K have got a studio that's been working on it for apparently a while, so
I mean, that'd be awesome if they did. Are they still doing that System Shock like remake reboot thing they do?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute then, Chris.
So it's today.
So, what have I got on here? How much more low-hanging fruit have I got written down? Okay. The Division Heartlands will be shown, and its open beta will be this year.
Where do you think it's going to be shown?
I think it's going to be shown at the Keighley's.
Okay. I just asked because I don't know if Ubisoft was down as one of the
If
like
it's not the
partners
Keighley's,
or
it will be
whatever.
the Xbox show. I feel like it's going to partner with anyone and everyone to try and get that game out. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I think it's good. I think at minimum you'll get a beta this year, but I think you could even get the game released this year. But because Ubisoft don't have anything coming out. So.
No.
Yeah, Ubisoft
Yeah.
are just kind of all over. Like, they're such a weird place. They seem to be releasing these free-to-play games, and then no one's paying any attention to them. Yeah, they're just coming out and like instantly dying.
Yeah, like I wish we had the.
So they need to.
Like I wish we were going to get that Prince of Persia remake, to be honest, but I don't think that seems to be dead in the water.
Yeah, I think that's getting patched up and either cancelled or someone else will be doing it. So yeah, that one, the version they showed, was it last year or the year before? Didn't
2
look
years ago,
impressive,
yeah, it
did
looks
it?
terrible.
Mm.
Craigo.
So I mean, hopefully that just gets restarted. Move over to the Xbox showcase. Dave's already taken a lot of mine. Okay. Stuff that's to come this year. Xbox needs to somehow bring something to this year. I think it's going to be some smaller games, some AA, some of the smaller projects. I'm going to say that Project Belfry, which is the game that Stoic is making, which I think is the guys who did like the Banner Saga, gets shown and it will be announced for this year.
Hell yeah.
And a Tiger team announced. I will put
Pengy.
for this year. Cool. I might semi gave mine away. The System Shock sort of remake by Night Dive is shown at the PC Gaming Show.
Interesting.
I'm sure the only person that's going to be watching that, so you'll have to let us know.
Yep. No, it's just Night Dive. A lot of their stuff has been shown at the PC Gaming Show and that before, and it's System Shock is obviously more famous being for PC, so that's where it makes sense, where it should be.
When is the PC Gaming Show, Chris?
It is on. You can watch that on the 8:30 on Sunday the 12th. So basically right after Xbox.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we release no before we do our next podcast. So.
Hell yeah. What's we on number 4, Pengy?
This would be your number 4, Dave.
My number 4 is very quick, very simple, and this will certainly be the Xbox Bethesda showcase. A Quake reboot. We've done Doom. We've done Wolfenstein. It's time for Quake.
Yeah.
I'd imagine
not bringing over the
Champions.
Newish.
Yeah, they won't bring over Champions.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk that they'd make this. Obviously now they've done Doom.
It's either going to be this or Rage 3, and I feel like.
I don't think they do Rage 3.
I feel like Quake is
after Rage 2. I think they'd actually.
I feel like Quake is the better choice.
Now.
So.
Yeah, definitely. Is it very similar to Doom? I've never played a Quake game, but
you'll like it if they remake it and it's just like Doom. You'll like it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Back to me. I'll stay with Xbox again. They need some stuff for this year. They've got to try and save the day somehow. And that I will say that Josh Sawyer's new game, which I believe is Project Pentiment or something like that, will be shown, and it will be for this year.
Oh yeah.
So project.
And the
Pen-
rumors are that it's a kind of Disco Elysium kind of RPG detective game set, kind of in, I think it's ancient Rome or something like that. So.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Right. So my number 5 is we sort of got info on it, and they are listed as a partner. So it's going to be re-shown, but it's going to be a smaller trailer. It's going to be like a 2-3 minute trailer. It's going to show some games that are on it, and that is the Sega Mega Drive Mini Mark II is officially announced for the West.
I mean,
Wait, what?
I feel like
So
that's a Pengle's cheat there.
Yeah.
It's currently not announced for the West.
But the last one was, and it was when it retweeted by Sega Europe.
I'm saying, yeah, it was going to be. I'm saying it's going to be at the.
Okay, give me an exact date, and I'll allow it to the day.
I don't even know when it's coming out in Japan now.
Well, you got to think on your feet, Pengy. If you're gonna do a Pengy, you're gonna have to do a Pengy quickly.
See, I don't know, March next year.
Okay, March next year. But that's
I thought putting at the Keeleys would.
That's the last Pengles I'm allowing in this one. Okay, Pengy.
Okay.
So if I see GoldenEye on your list, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that. It's like who would put stuff that's already leaked in their predictions.
Yeah. Okay. So number 5 now, are we? I'm gonna go ballsy this time because I'm a ballsy man.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get a Banjo-Kazooie teaser. Now, do I think or do I just believe, Craig? I think I just believe. But
I think you just believe.
I believe Banjo-Kazooie. I feel like Rare are going to give up on that game that they've shown 400 times that no one knows anything about.
Ever was. That sounds like that's just dead,
So,
to be honest with you.
Quick, I don't think it's going to be a new Banjo-Kazooie. Well, I'm not going to put that in the prediction because that's too niche. But I think you could see a remake of one. A remake of 2,
Okay.
or like a weird. But I think there will be some Banjo-Kazooie shown in the Xbox Bethesda showcase.
There was a load of like kerfuffle because Phil Spencer was seen playing Banjo-Kazooie on his I don't know if it was on Xbox or Steam Deck or something. So everyone was like, "Oh, Phil's playing it. That means there's got to be Banjo's going to be announced." And someone else from Microsoft was seen playing it as well. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories about that.
I'd love it. Imagine you winning on that.
I think Gary Whitta also put the same thing, Dave. So if you're going down, you're going down with Gary. So
Hell yeah.
What more do you need?
Okay.
Just number 5 for me next.
No, this is number 6, Craig.
Oh, okay. That's good because I'm running out now because we all got the same list, haven't we?
Pretty much.
I'm 99% sure I predicted this last year and it didn't happen. But I'm going to say it again.
I rewatched this so I could get who lost, who and won, and I just thought Craig introduced exactly the same 10 predictions for this year.
And that is Compulsion's new game.
Yeah, that was one you had last year.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's finally shown. And I'll throw in a caveat that they're going to put a date of next year on it.
2023. Just
Yeah.
2023, or does you need to be specific, like my March from my Mega Drive?
I mean, this is a new game. It wasn't even been announced. I reckon. If you want more, I reckon it'd probably be a new IP as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be new IP because I can't see them doing a new. What's one that even just come to Xbox after like 10 years?
Oh God.
I know you played
it's one that I played recently.
Yeah, I can't see them doing a number 2 of that or anything.
No, or was it We Happy Flew? The game that they made. So I think Dan's a big fan of randomly, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's mine next. Right, they are listed as a partner at the Keeleys, and we're gonna get it. It's gonna be Final Fantasy Tactics Remake is officially announced.
It's a bold statement.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of people excited, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 6, Pengy?
You're number 6, Dave.
Which of these do we go for? Okay, I'm going to go for a Fallout remake or remaster.
Fallout, what? Fallout 1?
just the series. If I had to be pressed, I'd say New Vegas.
I could. I reckon I wouldn't surprise me if we get something Fallout related at the Xbox show. I
feel like there's enough
it's hard to
teams
see
in that
where
I've got enough love for Fallout. Like an
is it
Obsidian,
in
Bethesda,
Exile maybe? Because they've
That won't be
supposedly
in
got two projects.
I'd be surprised if it was in Exile. I think it's more likely to be like an Obsidian, Bethesda like team up for like a quick.
I put Vegas remake or remaster.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Okay, Craigie, number 7.
Back to me. I'm running out of stuff here. I'm going silly. I'm going nuts. I'm losing my mind. Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
Game Pass Day 1.
I don't even think that game's coming
happening
this year. To be honest with you,
No,
I think that game's getting delayed heavily.
Yeah, but it could still be.
It could still be Game Pass.
Yeah,
it could still be Game Pass. But I mean, I think that game's in trouble. I think I'm going to lose some points if that comes out this year. But there we go.
Yeah.
In the memory of the Dreamcast, I believe, Dave. 10 out of 10. This year.
The Dreamcast looks better than it. I don't know. We'll do a whole episode about Sonic Frontiers at some point. Thank you.
Yeah, right. I got a couple still left on mine. I don't think you'll go for any of them. Right, I'm going to go for this one because it's a slightly out there. Jeff Keighley likes to, especially with his Game Awards, bring guests on, musical guests, and film people, part of the other entertainment thing. You're going to sort of do this here. We are going to get the first trailer for The Last of Us HBO show at the Keyleys.
Ugh.
He's going to bring out Pedro Pascal and go, I got the Mandalorian's Pedro Pascal here. What have you got to show me? Here's a trailer for The Last of Us HBO show. And they'll be like, oh, look, I've got a mainstream star on my, show. That is my thinking of that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think I could see that happening. I think it'd be kind of underwhelming, especially if they were to tease it as The Last of Us first, because everyone will get the hopes up for the remake.
That's why I think that we'll bring out Pedro Pascal and I don't know, maybe they show Jelly. It's like, I've got another Star Wars person here or something. I think you're trying to get someone like him on the show, and it's the only real thing I could really think of. So, not getting Sonic the Hedgehog 3 teaser or anything, because that's we only just had 2. So
okay then.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice. So for
my number 7,
Xbox will announce a cloud-specific piece of hardware that will probably just be a streaming stick that you plug into your TV. They will announce that at this show.
Right, okay, but we sort of already know that. But I will.
Do we though? Do we know that it's been announced?
I don't think we do. I think that there's something on Windows Central about it.
It's been rumoured for a while.
Phil has said
it's
something.
It's not as blatant as the Mega Drive 2 coming to the West. If we're going to play that game.
Yeah, I think that's a.
Do you want to give a date for it then?
2022.
Or 2022.
I feel like that'd be one of those.
Cloud stick.
My last
I
one's
could definitely
just
see
be
it
fun.
for Christmas.
Yeah, I could see it for Christmas. I could see a Black Friday
thing.
Just the final nail in the Stadia coffin.
So, Craig, number 8.
Last one. I'm going to stick with Sega. Because, someone's got to represent the Dreamcast there, boys. Someone's still got to believe.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to commit to which show, because I think it could be either show. It's either of the big ones. The next mainline Yakuza game is announced. I don't know if it's going to be Like a Dragon 2 or if it'd be a different name, but the next one... Or
it'd be Yakuza 9.
Yeah, I reckon it's time. That studio just seems to pump out games. I know they reuse a lot of the maps and that, don't they? They seem pretty quick. I can announce... I'm not going to say a date. I reckon it'll probably be next year, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh. Right, I got a few left, and I can't see Dave going for anyone. There's one I was really surprised Craig didn't take because of obviously Xbox, but I think I'm going to try to go for a safe one here, and that's Zenless Zone Zero has a trailer and the beta is announced for the sign up.
That's the Genshin Impact game, isn't it?
I have no idea what you just said, but
It's the Genshin Impact. It's like another game that looks exactly the same, but Pengels is probably right.
Do you any idea on what show or anything? Cool.
At
Bit of
the Keeleys, because the Genshin Impact team are listed down for them, and we know a beta is coming at some point, which will be announced in like this show. Like the beta sign up is this week, or that sort of thing.
Hell yeah.
Is it the last one for Dave?
Yeah.
So my last one is very specific.
Mm.
A special edition Xbox Series X will be shown. And my bonus point for it, or my bonus caveat, is that Craig will try and pre-order it and fail. It will probably be Gears, probably Gears or Forza or something like that. But that's my prediction, is that it will get announced, it will get shown, and Craig will fail to pre-order it.
Yeah, I did. I mean, this could be on point, Dave, because I did try and get the Halo
I know you
Series
did,
X,
my
and
friend.
I did fail. I did fail.
What if
so.
Craig doesn't like it? What if it's right?
Well, Craig will still not pre-order it, will he? So that's still technically... He will fail in to pre-order it. If he just pre-orders it anyway, just to stop me getting a point, then that's on him, isn't it? That's up to him. I've left that in his court. But,
I'll live myself.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's our predictions. I think they're fairly safe this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
the
hopeful.
one I was thinking of that Craig didn't have with his project. It's like I had Project Dragon will be officially announced. Is one of them, which from IO Interactive. I got Kojima will appear, but I think that was too easy.
I think Project Dragon's quite a way out from the sound of it. I think that's quite an ambitious game that they're working on, so I'd be surprised if it's shown this year. I can see that maybe being a next year that they kind of start teasing that.
So if we're right, so we're ending like the Xbox this year is that we're getting a Gears of War collection, Forza Horizon expansion, and Forza Motorsport.
Maybe
With some Game Pass stuff like Ninja Turtles, etc.
They need to do something. So I feel like there's some easy wins that they could do. I say the Forza Horizon expansion is the only thing I think is a definite. But the rest, who knows? Like they'll probably show some more Halo stuff, some new maps, a new season. I don't think anyone really cares that much. But we'll see. We'll see. And obviously the Keeleys will have all the PlayStation
stuff. It's tough for Xbox, I think, because I think do they try and kind of focus on like salvaging this year? And I think it's gonna be a lot of like AA sort of stuff if they do that, and potentially underwhelm in that way, or do they kind of try and show more of their like the bigger stuff that's further out, but then everyone's gonna be like, well, what's coming this year? I mean, it'd be really cool if they did half and half. They were like, all right, the first half of the show is gonna be stuff this year, and then the second half is gonna be focusing on next year.
I guess also it depends when stuff is. Let's say Starfield's now February. Well, it's only like 6 months away, so it's okay. It is next year, but it's not like it's like 18 months or something.
No.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be further in February. I think like a game that size to delay it, I think they probably will want more time than that. I could even see it be like the end of next year. I could be starting. I know they're saying
November again, but
I know they're saying it was like the first half, but I could see that being like one of the games at the end of the year, and they move other stuff around to accommodate it.
Well, we will find out, boys and girls. We will find out. So the Xbox show is next week. We will do a show either immediately afterwards or the next day.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you for watching.
We'll see you all. Obviously, at the moment, no Nintendo.
No, I think Nintendo's gonna be the week after. But if Nintendo gets announced, we will do a hastily organised Nintendo. If they do their usual thing where it's coming out, it's tomorrow, then we'll just figure something out.
I think that's what they do. If you looked at last year, because obviously we did have E3 last year, but Nintendo wasn't partnered with E3. They announced it like on the Thursday, and then it came on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we get Nintendo sort of upstage Keighley. They'll announce it on like the 9th. We're having a Nintendo Direct on the 14th or something on the Tuesday. And like we're gonna have Breath of the Wild there or something. There'll be like some sort of tease or something from Nintendo. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I could see them going full Nintendo Japanese, but like, we're gonna go at the end of the month or something like that, just to really be on their own, do their own thing, which would be pretty cool as well. For them to be a little bit further away from everyone else.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you like the show, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the comments. How wrong are we all going to be, and how much is Pengul's cheese that Mega Drive prediction? You let us know, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.